Ariel, Guardian of the Sea. Once upon a time, in the shimmering depths of the ocean, there was a magnificent underwater kingdom called Oceania. This kingdom was home to all kinds of sea creatures, but its most cherished inhabitants were the merfolk, a mermaid with long, flowing hair the color of the ocean itself. Princess Ariel was unlike any other mermaid in Oceania. She possessed a special gift, the ability to communicate with all sea creatures. From the tiniest fish to the grandest whales, they all understood her, and she understood them. One day, while exploring the coral reefs near the kingdom, Princess Ariel stumbled upon a group of dolphins in distress. Their leader, a wise old dolphin named Delphinus, explained that their home was threatened by a powerful storm that was approaching. The dolphins needed to find a safe haven, but they were lost and disoriented. Princess Ariel knew she had to help. She called out to her friends, the seahorses, and together they guided the dolphins to a hidden cove where they would be safe from the storm. Delphinus was grateful for Ariel's kindness and wisdom, and he pledged the dolphins' loyalty to her forever. Word of Ariel's bravery and compassion spread throughout the kingdom, and soon she became known as the Guardian of the Sea. She spent her days exploring the ocean, helping those in need, and spreading kindness wherever she went. As time passed, Princess Ariel's fame reached even the surface world. Sailors spoke of a magical mermaid who protected the seas with her gentle heart and her deep connection to all living creatures. They called her Ariel, the Mermaid Princess, and her legend grew with each passing day. And so, Princess Ariel's story became a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who heard it, a reminder that even in the vastness of the ocean, a single act of kindness can create ripples that reach the farthest shores. The Princess and the Bean, a tale of courage and friendship. Once upon a time, in the vast kingdom of Verdania, there was a princess named Lila. She wasn't your typical princess. She loved adventure and exploring the vast forests that surrounded the castle. One day, while on an expedition, Princess Lila stumbled upon a peculiar beanstalk that reached high into the sky. Intrigued, she decided to climb it, eager to see what lay beyond the clouds. As she ascended, the air grew cooler, and the sky turned from blue to a deep shade of violet. Finally, she reached the top and found herself in a magical realm filled with lush greenery and colorful flowers. In the distance, she saw a majestic castle that seemed to be made entirely of crystal. Curiosity piqued, Princess Lila made her way to the castle and was greeted by its inhabitants, the Bean People. They were a friendly bunch, with bodies made of beans and hearts full of kindness. The Bean People explained that their kingdom was in trouble. A wicked sorceress had cast a spell, causing their crops to wither and die. Princess Lila knew she had to help. She asked the Bean People what she could do, and they told her about the legendary Bean of Life, a magical bean that could restore their crops and bring prosperity back to the kingdom. The only problem was, it was located in the heart of the sorceress's castle, guarded by powerful magic. Undeterred, Princess Lila set off on her quest, facing numerous challenges and overcoming them with courage and determination. Finally, she reached the sorceress's castle and confronted her. After a fierce battle, Princess Lila managed to defeat the sorceress and retrieve the Bean of Life. Returning to the Bean People's kingdom, Princess Lila planted the bean in the center of the village. Almost immediately, the crops began to flourish, and the kingdom was once again filled with life and joy. The Bean People were overjoyed and proclaimed Princess Lila their savior and honorary queen. Grateful for her bravery and kindness, they threw a grand feast in her honor, and Princess Lila celebrated with her new friends, knowing that no matter how big or small, a princess's courage could change the world. Hello friends, welcome to Mariotoons. Today's story is, how about the enchanted wardrobe of Princess Saraphina? Princess Saraphina lived in the kingdom of Eldoria, a land known for its breathtaking beauty and rich magical heritage. Saraphina herself was a vision of grace and elegance, with cascading locks of golden hair and eyes that sparkled like the stars. But what truly set Saraphina apart was her magical fashion. Her wardrobe was filled with dresses that shimmered with an ethereal glow, shoes that allowed her to dance on air, and accessories that granted her the ability to communicate with animals. One day, a dark shadow fell over Eldoria. A powerful sorceress had placed a curse on the kingdom, causing the land to wither and fade. The people grew desperate, and the king and queen knew not how to lift the curse. Saraphina, however, was undaunted. She knew that her magical fashion held the key to saving her kingdom. She donned her most powerful outfit, a cloak made from the feathers of the legendary phoenix, and set out on a quest to find the sorceress and undo her spell. As Saraphina journeyed through the cursed land, her cloak shimmered and glowed, lighting her way through the darkness. Along the way, she encountered many challenges, but each time, her magical fashion gave her the strength and courage to persevere. Finally, Saraphina reached the sorceress's lair. With a wave of her hand, she banished the darkness and restored light to Eldoria. The sorceress, seeing the power of Saraphina's fashion, surrendered, and peace was once again restored to the kingdom. From that day on, Saraphina's magical fashion was revered throughout Eldoria. She became known not only for her beauty, but for her bravery and kindness as well. And though many years have passed since that fateful adventure, the tale of Princess Saraphina and her magical fashion is still told in Eldoria, a testament to the power of courage, kindness, and a touch of enchantment. The Sun and the Wind, a tale of strength and gentleness. Once upon a time, in a realm where elements danced with delight, the sun and the wind shared a curious friendship. The sun, radiant and warm, basked in the admiration of all below. The wind, playful and spirited, reveled in the freedom of the skies. One day, as they frolicked among the clouds, they noticed a traveler below, wrapped in a heavy cloak, struggling against the chill. The wind, eager to show its strength, proposed a challenge to the sun. "I bet I can make that traveler remove his cloak faster than you can," boasted the wind. The sun, smiling gently, replied, "Let us see, my friend. You may try first." With a mighty gust, the wind blew fiercely, howling around the traveler, tugging at the cloak with all its might. But the traveler clutched the cloak tightly, bracing against the force. Then it was the sun's turn. The sun simply beamed its warm, golden rays upon the traveler. Slowly, the traveler began to feel the warmth seeping through the cloak. It became so pleasant that he willingly removed the cloak, feeling comforted by the sun's gentle touch. The wind, surprised and humbled, admitted defeat. "You are truly mighty, dear sun. Your warmth is more persuasive than my force." The sun, ever gracious, replied, "Strength is not always in power, but in how it is wielded. Let us both remember this, my friend." And so, the sun and the wind continued their celestial dance, each respecting the other's unique power, knowing that true strength lies in kindness and understanding. Aladdin's Magical Adventure. Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Agrabah, there lived a young man named Aladdin. He was known for his adventurous spirit and kind heart. One day, while exploring the marketplace, Aladdin stumbled upon a mysterious old lamp. Curiosity getting the better of him, he gave it a rub, and to his amazement, a magical genie appeared. The genie, grateful for being freed from the lamp, granted Aladdin 3 wishes. Excited by the possibilities, Aladdin wished for wealth, power and the heart of the beautiful princess, Jasmine. The genie, true to his word, granted Aladdin his wishes. With his newfound wealth and power, Aladdin embarked on a magical adventure to win Princess Jasmine's heart. Along the way, he faced many challenges, but with the help of his friends, the genie, and a magic carpet, he overcame them all. Finally, Aladdin arrived at the palace to profess his love for Jasmine. Jasmine accepted his love, and they lived happily ever after, exploring the world on their magic carpet and spreading joy wherever they went. And so, Aladdin's magical adventure came to an end, but his story would be told for generations to come, inspiring others to follow their dreams and believe in the power of magic. Flames of Unity, The Tale of the Fire, Princess and the Water Prince. Once upon a time, in a realm where magic flowed like the rivers and danced like the flames, there were two kingdoms that had been at odds for centuries. The Fire Kingdom, ruled by the fiery and passionate Fire Queen, and the Water Kingdom, ruled by the calm and wise Water King. The Fire Queen had a daughter, the Fire Princess, whose hair blazed like the sun and whose eyes sparkled like embers. She was bold and fearless, always eager to prove herself in battle. The Water King had a son, the Water Prince, whose hair flowed like liquid silver and whose eyes shimmered like the sea. He was gentle and kind, with a deep love for the natural world. Despite their kingdom's animosity, the Fire Princess and the Water Prince had always been intrigued by each other's tales. The Fire Princess admired the Water Prince's ability to calm even the fiercest of storms, while the Water Prince admired the Fire Princess's unwavering courage in the face of danger. One day, a great drought struck the land, threatening both kingdoms with famine and despair. The Fire Queen and the Water King, desperate to save their people, agreed to meet and discuss a truce. The Fire Princess and the Water Prince, curious to meet the one they had heard so much about, secretly followed their parents to the meeting place. As the Fire Queen and the Water King argued over terms, the Fire Princess and the Water Prince wandered off, finding themselves at the edge of a dry riverbed. The Fire Princess, unable to bear the sight of her dying land, let out a cry of anguish that caused flames to erupt from her fingertips. The Water Prince, seeing her distress, reached out and placed his hand over hers, and to their amazement, the riverbed began to fill with water. Realizing that their powers were strongest when combined, the Fire Princess and the Water Prince returned to their parents and urged them to work together. With their powers combined, they were able to bring life back to the land. And in doing so, they brought peace between their kingdoms. The Fire Princess and the Water Prince, now firm friends, continue to use their powers to protect and nurture the land, showing their kingdoms that true strength lay not in conflict, but in harmony and cooperation. And so, the Fire Princess and the Water Prince's magical bond became a symbol of hope and unity for all the realms. Berry Bonanza, Masha and the Bear's Fruitful Adventure. Once upon a time, in a quaint little cottage, nestled deep in the heart of a dense forest, lived a kind-hearted old bear. The bear was big, with thick fur that shimmered in the sunlight, and he spent his days tending to his garden and enjoying the peace and quiet of the woods. One sunny morning, as the bear was tending to his garden, he heard a rustling in the bushes. Curious, he walked over to investigate and found a little girl with bright, curious eyes and wild, curly hair. The girl was none other than Masha, a spirited and adventurous young girl who had wandered into the forest. "Hello, bear!" Masha exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "What are you doing in the forest all by yourself?" The bear, surprised by Masha's sudden appearance, replied. "I live here, little girl. This is my home." Masha's eyes widened in wonder. "Wow! You must be the famous forest bear everyone talks about. I've always wanted to meet you." The bear chuckled, amused by Masha's enthusiasm. "Well, now you've met me. What brings you to the forest, little one?" Masha grinned. "I was exploring and got lost, but I'm not scared. I love adventures." The bear smiled warmly. "Well, you're welcome to stay with me until you find your way back home. Would you like some honey?" Masha's eyes lit up at the mention of honey. "Yes, please!" And so Masha and the bear became fast friends. Masha helped the bear tend to his garden, and in return, the bear taught Masha about the wonders of the forest. Together, they shared many adventures and created memories that would last a lifetime. From that day on, Masha visited the bear often, and their friendship grew stronger with each passing day. The forest echoed with their laughter and the sound of their footsteps as they explored every corner of the woods. And so, Masha and the bear's friendship blossomed, proving that sometimes the most unexpected friendships are the ones that bring the most joy. Cinderella, a new chapter begins. Once upon a time, in a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Cinderella. After her magical night at the ball, where she captivated Prince Charming with her charm and grace, Cinderella's life took a new turn. When the clock struck midnight, she had rushed away, leaving behind a single glass slipper. The prince searched the kingdom, determined to find the mysterious woman who fit the shoe. Eventually, he arrived at Cinderella's modest home, where she lived with her stepmother and stepsisters. As Cinderella tried on the shoe, it fit perfectly, revealing her as the one the prince had been seeking. Overjoyed, he whisked her away to the palace, where they were married in a grand ceremony. Despite her new royal status, Cinderella remained humble and modest. She used her position to help others, especially those in need. She transformed the palace into a place of warmth and generosity, where everyone was welcome. Cinderella's kindness and grace endeared her to the people, and she became known as the people's princess. She worked tirelessly to improve the lives of her subjects, using her influence to bring about positive change. In the end, Cinderella's modesty and selflessness not only changed her own life, but also the lives of those around her. She proved that true beauty comes from within, and that kindness and compassion are the greatest treasures of all. And so, Cinderella lived happily ever after, a shining example of love and goodness in the world. Time-traveling Tim and the adventure across ages. In a small town, there lived a curious boy named Tim. Tim loved to read about history, especially stories about ancient civilizations and distant lands. One day, while exploring his grandfather's attic, Tim stumbled upon a peculiar old watch. Little did he know, this watch had the power to transport him through time. Excited and a bit nervous, Tim put on the watch. With a click, he found himself standing in the midst of a bustling market in ancient Rome. Surrounded by the sights, sounds, and smells of the past, Tim was both amazed and bewildered. As he wandered through the ancient streets, Tim bumped into a girl about his age. Her name was Maya, and she was also a time traveler. Maya explained that she was on a mission to gather ancient artifacts to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Tim, intrigued by Maya's mission, decided to join her. Together, they traveled to different eras, from the pyramids of ancient Egypt to the battlefields of medieval Europe. Along the way, they made new friends, like the adventurous pirate Jack and the wise samurai Akiko. Each adventure was filled with excitement and danger. But Tim and his friends always managed to overcome obstacles by working together. They learned valuable lessons about history, friendship, and the importance of protecting the past. Eventually, it was time for Tim to return home. He said goodbye to his new friends, grateful for the incredible journey they had shared. As he took off the watch and placed it back in the attic, Tim knew that he would never forget his time-traveling adventures and the friends he had made along the way. Legacy of Gryffindor, the Lost Heir. Once upon a time, in the mystical world of Hogwarts, there was a young wizard named Alex. Unlike the other students, Alex didn't come from a wizarding family. He had grown up in the Muggle world, completely unaware of his magical heritage. One day, as Alex turned 11, a letter arrived addressed to him, inviting him to attend Hogwarts, a school of witchcraft and wizardry. Confused but intrigued, Alex's life changed forever when he learned of his magical abilities. Upon arriving at Hogwarts, Alex was sorted into Gryffindor House. He quickly made friends with Harry, Ron, and Hermione, becoming an integral part of their group. Together, they faced many challenges and adventures, including encounters with dark creatures and the discovery of hidden secrets within the castle. As the years passed, Alex discovered that he was the descendant of Godric Gryffindor himself, making him the heir to the Gryffindor legacy. This revelation brought new responsibilities and dangers as dark forces sought to use his lineage for their own gain. In his final year at Hogwarts, Alex faced his greatest challenge yet, a powerful dark wizard seeking to claim the Gryffindor heirloom for himself. Attacked the castle. A climactic battle, Alex, with the help of his friends, stood against the dark wizard and emerged victorious, saving Hogwarts and securing his place as the true heir of Gryffindor. After graduating, Alex continued to uphold the values of bravery and courage that Gryffindor House stood for. He became an Auror, dedicating his life to protecting the wizarding world from dark forces. And though his time at Hogwarts had come to an end, his legacy as the lost heir of Gryffindor lived on, inspiring future generations of wizards and witches. Princess Sophia's Magical Academy. Once upon a time, in the enchanting kingdom of Lumina, there lived a young princess named Sophia. She had a heart as pure as a diamond and a spirit as bright as the sun. From a very young age, Sophia displayed a remarkable affinity for magic. She could make flowers bloom with a touch and summon gentle breezes with a flick of her wrist. One day, an invitation arrived at the palace. It was an invitation to the prestigious Lumina Magical Academy, a school that trained the most talented young magic users in the kingdom. Princess Sophia was overjoyed. She had dreamt of attending the academy since she was a little girl. Excitedly, Sophia packed her bags and set off for the academy. When she arrived, she was greeted by the headmaster, a wise old wizard named Merlin. He explained that to gain admission to the academy, she would have to pass 3 magical trials. The first trial was the trial of the elements. Sophia was tasked with controlling the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. With determination and focus, she succeeded in mastering each element, proving her skill and dedication. The second trial was the trial of illusions. Sophia was led into a room filled with mirrors, where she had to distinguish between real and illusionary objects. Using her keen intellect and intuition, she navigated the maze of illusion and emerged victorious. The final trial was the trial of the heart. Sophia was presented with a series of moral dilemmas and had to choose the path that reflected her true character. With compassion and wisdom, she made the right choices, proving that her heart was as pure as her magic. Impressed by Sophia's talent and integrity, Merlin offered her a place at the academy. Overjoyed, Sophia accepted and began her studies at the Lumina Magical Academy. She learned new spells, made new friends, and grew into a powerful and wise sorceress. Years passed, and Sophia became known throughout the kingdom for her kindness, her courage, and her incredible magic. She became not only a great sorceress, but also a beloved ruler, known to all as Princess Sophia the Wise, protector of Lumina. She lived happily ever after, using her magic to bring peace and happiness to her kingdom.